my name is Abigail B. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, where have you been? Where have you been? Make it make sense. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and watching more of my videos. I appreciate it. If not, please don't forget to press the subscribe button, like and comment. Now, I've just done a little glimpse of my new sofa. It is giving curves, it's giving architectural, it's giving neutral, it's giving everything, it's giving luxury. Most importantly, this is not even giving luxury, it is luxury. It's from a brand that I worked with recently. I will link below. I absolutely adore them. They have so many unique pieces that fit everybody's home. And yeah, I am literally in love. It's so comfortable as well. It's a snug chair. And yeah, it's very, very soft. Obviously, the colour for the kids is a bit difficult. The little one tends to like to lounge in there, and it's absolutely fine. But yeah, just have to be careful. But yeah. Anyway, so we are going to be talking about decor mistakes. Now, if you've done these mistakes, I'm going to tell you how you can fix them. So these are things that you brought into your home and you're like, oh my God. What am I going to do now? Like, I have this item and it was very expensive and now I can't get rid of it. Like, what am I supposed to do? I know the easiest answer might be you want to exchange it or throw it away or give it away. However, there are some tips on how you can still bring it into your space. You know, make it inviting, make it part of what you're doing, unnoticeably as well. So here are some common mistakes and here is how to conceal them. First one is your sofa. Now this is a very, very big one because you do spend a lot of money in your sofa. It's a big investment and sometimes getting it right may be quite difficult. Like for me, example, this sofa, it took me, I would say like coming up to 6 months. I wasn't rushing to make a decision, but sometimes if you are moving quite imminently, you have to make a decision to get a sofa. It needs to be conducive, practical in your environment, so you will just pick whatever that is. And sometimes you may forget about style, you may forget about how aesthetically pleasing it's going to look, you may forget how it's actually going to come in within your style, and you know, how are you going to coordinate it with everything else. And then you just buy this ugly sofa and you notice it and it just irritates you, bugs you. I'm just going to give this an example. Doesn't mean that this sofa particularly is ugly, but just an example. If you're going for a particular design style and you've chosen a sofa like this, what are you to do? Now, if it's that, and the way you can conceal it is not bringing too much attention to the sofa and work around it. So add some cushions. I would say cushions that are possibly not that color. Maybe add colors that are coordinating with the room. So if your room is like a cream or like a soft white, warm white, maybe add some of those elements in there as well. Some monochromatic touches in your color scheme with your cushions. Perhaps putting a throw over the sofa. So I know it sounds like you're covering it completely, but yeah, putting a throw over it and then making it very cozy and making it tie in to your decor. Perhaps you may want to put like a different contrast rug underneath as well. Again, you're bringing a contrast of the color but not bringing too much attention to the sofa itself. You may want to also put it in a different position in the room, so as you walk in, it's not at viewpoint initially, and it just means that as you walk in, you've got this more aesthetically pleasing and your eyes are wandering elsewhere. You're bringing your attention to something different and not on the sofa. So that's one way you can do it. Maybe not having it directly under your ceiling light as well, and maybe just having a task light near it as well, just to bring the ambience as well, and it's not so dark and dingy in the corner. You're still trying to tie it in, you're not neglecting it, it's still part of the group, you know, we're still inviting it to the party, but it's not the life of the party, if you know what I mean. If mistaken, you want to conceal it. Another important thing, lighting. Now, lighting is not that expensive, so perhaps if you can, I would say maybe just change it. If it's too late to change it, you can always sell, you can always pull it up for grabs. People are buying and selling on Facebook Market. You know, there's ways to not be wasteful, but if it really doesn't go, I would just say, yeah, let's just get rid of it and try something new. But if it's something that, you know, did cost you a lot of money and you're not ready to get rid of it so soon, then just look at the design style of it. Is it a traditional lampshade or light fixture, or is it quite modern? Then maybe tie your room with it as well, so that it's not completely off. For example, you can't have a very modern styled room and I'll give an example of what a modern room, what it would look like, and having a very traditional lighting, that may clash and be off, and then you are bringing attention to your ugly lighting. So instead, tie in, maybe add some traditional touches or aesthetics into your space as well, so it looks intentional. Make sure that it's clean, because if it is a traditional one, for example, if it's dirty and it just looks very worn out, oops, don't want to downgrade the rest of the room, so definitely I would say consider that. Change your light bulbs as well. Maybe go for a more brighter light. Instead of having a warm light, go for something that's a bit more brighter. So again, it's luminizing the room, and maybe when you're looking up, you're not looking directly at the light fixture itself, you're looking at the purpose of the light. I hope that makes sense. So those are ways you can kind of conceal it. A ceiling rose is a definite, I would say I love ceiling rose because I love those kind of traditional elements to my aesthetics anyway, but you can also add it to a modern theme home. It does go really well with it as well. So that's one thing you may want to consider with your light fixture. Another mistake that people make is with their window dressing, and I've spoken about it in so many videos, but yeah, if you have a smallish home, small window, you tend naturally to think that you should put small dressings, like a small curtain, have it shortly just covering the window. It's a bit more than that. The window itself is the opening, the eyes into your room, inside and outside, but it doesn't mean that that's its full purpose. Like, it's actually a really nice interiors, and actually a very good aspects of your room. It does really elevate it, and yeah, you need to tie it in. Like, don't just make it be a window, bring it into your space. So when you're doing your curtains, I would say have it from ceiling to the floor, kissing the floor, as I would say, and make sure that the curtains are tying into your space as well. So like, don't go for some metallic or crushed velvet curtains and your space is traditional. It just does not look good. So, you know, you really want to consider that as well, you know, bring it in. But if you have spent a lot of money on curtains and they just do not go with your room, I would maybe double layer it with some sheer curtains to it as well. If you can't take it up and it is quite short, just bring it a bit lower down, but you can put some pellets around it if that is your style. And maybe that's why some key features in your room, I would say, don't even spend so much, because if you don't have advice or an interior designer to kind of guide you and help you to make certain decisions, then don't be spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds on a curtain that's going to really downgrade your room and just make it look terrible and out of date. Another thing that we tend to spend a lot of money on, maybe not just in that, I'll keep talking about the living room actually, but perhaps your kitchen. So if you've got a kitchen like mine that's not particularly your style, it's a little bit outdated, there's so many ways of how you can kind of spruce it up and cover up some of the mistakes that have been made. You may want to change the countertop. So if you do that, okay, it may cost a couple of thousands, but it's not going to be as much as you was changing the whole kitchen. You can also wrap your cabinetry as well. Make sure you get professionals to do that. I am not even for the DIY covering of the workshop, because I'll talk about it in another video, because it's getting really bad. People are not doing it so well and it just looks really fake. It downgrades it and it looks cheap. Leave it the colour it is, give it a good clean and it can look fresh. Change the handles, I would say. Maybe get something that ties into your more modern or traditional style. Just those little spruces can really cover things up. Changing your flooring, changing the lighting, you know, adding more light in there, perhaps spotlights, it can make it look modern and instantly elevate your space. Like, there's so many ways how you can upscale and elevate your space from some of the little mistakes that's there. This is how you cover it up in the kitchen. This is a very quick one. Dining tables, It can be very expensive, especially if you're going for marble or natural stone. They can be. I wouldn't even say if you look at it and think, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, I've spent so much money in it, I don't know how to get rid of it. Simply, you can just change your chairs. So bring attention to your dining chairs. Make your dining chairs look quite very architectural and stylish. Something that's bright as well, so it kind of illuminates that area as well. You can, if it's very, very bad, maybe it's in a bad shape, so maybe it's in a different spectrum, you know, you didn't spend so much money on it, but you don't want it to downgrade your space, you can put tablecloth. I wouldn't even say tablecloths are completely outdated. You know, if you get a white one, it can look nice with a runner, and make it look intentional. So like dress it up, do some tablescaping in there, some candelabras on it as well. So it's an intentional styling feature, and you're not bringing too much attention to the actual dining table itself. Also consider your centerpiece. Get like a really nice vase and large high floral arrangement as well, so you're bringing your level of your eye and your attention up as well, not so much down on the table. So yeah, these are ways on how you can kind of elevate your table and cover the mistake of buying something that now you regret. A big thing that people spend so much money on, and you can, if you regret it, you probably cannot even get rid of it. It's not even an option. I've done it myself. I've spoken about it in my other videos, and that is the flooring. I would not get grey flooring. It's just really cold, unbalanced, and yeah, especially if it has a kind of blue tone to it, it's really hard to match things up, even though it's a neutral color. So if you've done the same mistake as I have, or you have very cheap flooring and it's starting to wear off, you know, maybe vinyl, and it's just not looking good, it's picked up so much scratches and dirt, in so many of those circumstances, depending on the area of the room that we're talking about, you can cover it with a very, very large rug. I'm talking 230 centimeters by 230 centimeters, you know, very, very big. 2 meters, 3 meters, covering the surface area as much as you can with your rug. Also your furniture pieces that will be on top of your flooring, you know, you're not bringing too much attention to it as well, so having things a bit higher up. Have some certain areas in your house with various different types of flooring, so perhaps maybe if you can change the upstairs, maybe do that, so you're not wasting too much money by lifting the whole flooring up. If it's very like old wooden flooring, I think they're absolutely beautiful, very authentic, but you could sand it down and revarnish it, and maybe revarnish it to a completely different color if you want a new look. If it's a carpet, that is sometimes a bit difficult to change, but get a rug cleaner to just spruce it up. You may fall in love with it again once it's nice and clean and it's shining, shining, shining. If not, again, just as I said, a rug will definitely suffice. I don't know, sorry, I'm not being that helpful here in knowing how to cover flooring. I hope I have been helpful, but it's a hard one. It is a hard one, but those are ways to kind of take your mind off it. So as you walk in the space, your attention is not drawn to the floor, it's drawn to your eye level and everything else that's in the room. So don't have anything that's the same color as it, you know, bring that contrast in so it looks like it's an intentional looks like it's intentional of what you have done. Now, there's so many, I can keep talking about the mistakes to cover up, because I get it a lot with some of my clients. I've made the mistakes myself and I try to find ways to cover it up. We're all doing it, and I think this video is very, very useful. But I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to bombard you with too much information, as I always do. Make sure you subscribe. Oh my gosh, I've been talking smiling water. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. And yeah, please come back for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.